All right, David.
Yeah.
What's your favorite fast food?
Oof. That's a complicated question, but my nickname is Koshari, so I'm going to have to say Koshari.
Koshari, why?
It's our nation's food. You know, it's our, I think it's got everything what you need. It's delicious, got hot sauce, got some crunchy onions. Yeah. No, best thing there is.
All right. What would be the second best thing?
Ooh, fast food or general?
Yeah, fast food.
Harissa.
Harissa?
It's a dessert. It's not really fast. It's fast food.
It's from Alexandria, right?
Yeah. It's like basbousa here, but harissa is
okay.
Kilos,
I must try that. Definitely. Yeah. All right.
Shoot.
Going on.
Yeah.
What is for you a high stakes client?
Personally, I don't believe in something called high stakes clients. I believe in big clients and small clients, but I think every client you bring in should be considered a high stakes client. If you don't help every client with the right attention span, the right service, the right mindset, I think you're doing something wrong, to be honest. Yeah, 100%.
Makes sense. But is there for you then a difference in how you approach, for example, a very big company versus a smaller one?
Yeah, so I see it in like big clients and smaller clients. That being said, so I can focus on priorities. Priorities are going to be the main focus. Looking at your workload of your team, big clients need a certain priority advantage. When it comes to high stakes clients, you all have to understand their needs. So I think when it comes to clients, understanding what they need, understanding how they function, what their company structure is, what they're selling. I mean, how can you help a company if you don't know what they're selling, right?
Very true.
So it starts fully, it's both in big clients and small clients. You need to talk to the client. It starts all with communication.
Okay, and how does communication go?
Well, that depends. I think everyone's different. How we communicate is different than I communicate with some of the rest of my team members. Yeah. It starts with, look, if you're not an email guy, I don't think you need to answer a lot of emails. The main thing is you need to have an open channel of communication with your client. If it's a big or small client, just having an open channel of communication can be Slack, can be WhatsApp, can be anything you want, can be email for you if that helps. But your client needs to be able to reach you with his needs at any point, so you can jump in when you need to.
Very true. I have clients that I text on a daily basis. Yeah. I have clients that I see once every quarter because they say, it's all going fine. Just, it's all good. Everything is set up, and then the process is just there, right?
My biggest advantage, I personally love WhatsApp Business. Business WhatsApp. It's so handy. It's got a lot of tools I can contact easily. I noticed that emails get lost a lot of the time. Clients sometimes don't respond anyway. Google Calendar meetups or Outlook or Teams or Chime, it gets lost a lot. Like just a WhatsApp message, it just cuts through everything. You've got the answer. They've got the answer. It's the best thing to do.
Very true. Yeah. Here's a maybe interesting question. What if something goes wrong? How do we tackle that?
Like something goes wrong with a client?
In general, just something that didn't pan out exactly as we planned, or a campaign wasn't fully successful, but we had an entirely different vision, something like that.
It's basically when a crisis situation happens, it's getting to the root of the problem. Understanding the client's needs, jumping on the call immediately, or texting your client immediately, saying like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm going to help you out." I think just for him to know, or her to know, or the client to know that you're there is going to be the main point. Like that's like if you already at that point disappear, it's not going to be a good time. So first of all, you need that's I think that's why the communication channel is so important. Jump in first of all. Second of all is like understanding the problem, understanding the root, understanding the need, understanding what went wrong and why it went wrong. Because then you can actually come with an action plan. I see it going wrong too many times in agencies, that they just jump on a call and they listen to the client and say, it's so horrible that this happened to you. So now what?
Yeah.
I mean, clients remember the solution way more than they remember the problem. So
Very true.
If you don't come with an action plan, that's going to be step 2. It's like, get it fixed, get it done, and so that you have clear deadlines, clear timelines for your client to focus on.
Very, very, very true. In general, I think it's just a matter of also not over-promising things. You see so often that people say, we're going to do this immediately, but it's a process, right? It's a step by step.
100%. And I think this is where understanding your teams and talking to your teams comes in, because you can only promise things or achieve deadlines or achieve certain goalposts or milestones once you know what the capacities of your team, right? So before I handle any crisis solution or crisis situation, I always check in with all the teams first to see what we can actually achieve, what we can actually do. I call the different teams, and then I can jump into the call with the client and see like, okay, this is what we can do now, and this is what we can do in the future. Just to maintain those expectations is going to be crucial at that point in time. And then, of course, having daily contact to make sure you're there to follow up, make sure it happens. I mean, most of my clients actually came out of crisis situations. Like they're the ones that once you build that trust and win that trust, you're gonna never lose that client.
Yeah, makes total sense.
Yeah.
And it's basically learning from failures, learning from what went wrong, improving upon it in the future, building, just going up.
I think even just being like for a client to have the feeling of being understood and someone understanding you, not meaning having that solution right away, but working on it, having an action plan, just being understood, it's so crucial. I think I've helped a couple of clients that jumped agencies and just like, okay, I know what you guys do, but you just feel to proactively think alongside with my business. That's so important. And this goes back to the first step, like just knowing your client, talking with him, having a chit chat, understanding the business, understanding the market. Where does he want to be? What does he want to do? This really helps.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. From your point of view, what would be the first thing that you tackle when a new company comes to us?
First thing that I tackle, like meaning something goes wrong, or like
no, in general, just new company comes to us. What would be your main focus? We're just going to start with that.
Oh, that's very interesting. Well, so first of all, you want to understand why the company came to us, right? Like you have some clients that tried e-commerce on their own. They said like, this is not for me. I wanna give it to someone else to do it. Or you have some clients that wanna learn along the way. Like if you go to an experienced client that knows a lot about e-commerce and start treating him like explaining tacos, explaining ACOS, yeah, this is not going to go right because he feels like, okay, this guy's treating me like a baby. You know, this doesn't help. At the same time, if you treat a small company like a big business that knows everything about e-commerce and you jump through all the data, yeah, you're going to lose this client as well because he'll be like, I have no clue what you're talking about. So it's like understanding where he comes from and what are his goals? Why did he come to us? Like, so you can communicate openly. I think the nicest thing I have, again, for me, a high stakes client. It's a smaller client, but it's a high stakes client, and he's never done anything on e-commerce before. Doesn't know what he did. The nice thing there is like I can really talk him through it, what we're doing on the campaigns, what we're focusing on step by step. So he's learning on the go, and that investment, he just loves to be that involved in it. At the same time, I have a big company that's like, yeah, I don't care about the numbers. Just get me the reports, make a profit loss every month. I'll call you then. So it's really understanding what they need. That's the very first step and what brings them to us.
Okay. Yeah, understanding goals, building upon it,
Yeah.
and then just going from there.
Exactly. And this is the cool thing about working at Meezy, I think, because you have a tailor-made experience for every client.
Yeah.
And that being that custom and that tailored, having a weekly call, every weekly call is different. Like it's not a script. And if you fall back to a script, you're definitely doing something wrong.
100% agree.
Yeah.